Right, folks. So it's been a while since I did a video on those big hairy primates. Oh, what? Why did I say primates? We don't know they're primates. Those big hairy beings that we call Sasquatch, Bigfoot Sasquatch. So yeah, this one's good. I'm going to read about the North American ape. So here we go. An odd lot of mystery primates reported mostly in the southeastern and midwestern United States. The term used by Lauren Coleman since the 1960s to distinguish these creatures from Bigfoot or hairy bipeds. Variant names: Abominable Chicken Man in Oklahoma. That's a first for me. I never heard of Abominable Chicken Man. I heard of Abominable Chicken Man. No, that's a first. Brush Ape, Folk Monster. We've all heard that one. Nobby in North Carolina. Little Red Men of the Delta. Manimal, Old Chef, Skunk Ape, and Traverse Spine Gorilla. Physical description: chimpanzee or gorilla-like, height 4 to 7 feet, brown to black hair, occasionally grey or white, green eyes, long arms, no tail. Behavior: nocturnal, stooping gait, walks bipedally as well as on all fours, can leap 20 to 40 feet in a single bound, swims readily. Call is a trumpeting howl or a high-pitched screech. Musky odor. Tracks: length 7 to 11 inches, up to 7 inches across. Some show an opposed big toe set at nearly right angles to the smaller toes. Others are just knuckle prints or are three-toed. So a lot of this is exactly what we hear from Sasquatch. The habitat: swamplands and riverine forests. Their distribution: a partial list of places where North American apes have been reported follows: Alabama, Arkansas, California, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Labrador, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas. Folks, I mispronounced Iowa. Excuse me. Significant sightings: in January 1869, near Gallipolis, Ohio, a gorilla attacked a man riding in a carriage. Gorillas were reported in Snyder, Adams, and York counties of south-central Pennsylvania from December 1920 to February 1921. In June 1931, a 4-foot gorilla was reported at the Lewis and Valentine's nursery near Mineola, Long Island, New York. Armed posses combed the woods but found only some apparently bipedal tracks with an opposed big toe. Scattered reports continued in the neighborhood until mid-July. In the summer of 1941, Reverend Lepton Harpole was hunting along Gum Creek near Mount Vernon, Illinois, when he saw a baboon-like animal jump down from a tree and walk on 2 legs toward him. He struck it with his rifle and fired shots to scare it away. For the next few months, residents heard terrifying screams at night in the woods along various creeks in Jackson and Oka counties, but hunting parties failed to find anything but occasional tracks. In 1957, James Meacham saw a small ape with reddish-orange fur in a tree near Jackson, Tennessee. He watched it for 5 minutes before he fired 14 rifle bullets into it at close range, most of which apparently hit. The animal did not budge until Meacham walked toward it. Then it quickly moved off through the trees. In the spring of 1962, Lauren Coleman discovered an ape-like footprint in a dry creek bed near Decatur, Illinois. It was 10 inches long and had a fully opposed large toe. Ralph Chambers of Elfers, Florida, saw an ape-like animal several times along the Anclote River in 1966 and 1967. It had a putrid odor that alternately terrified and enraged his dogs. Late at night on May 1st, 1971, Miss Bobby Ford of Folk, Arkansas, saw a hairy, clawed hand reaching through the front windows of her home. She screamed and her husband ran outside and took a pot shot at something that walked on two legs. The local policeman arrived and found some cat-like tracks. Later the same night, the 6-foot black-haired creature returned to lurk around the house and grabbed Bobby Ford, who panicked and ran inside, knocking down the door and knocking himself unconscious. Three-toed tracks turned up on June 4th in a soybean field southeast of town. So folks, well, we all know what that is. That's the famous Boggy Creek, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, on April 25th, 1973, Henry McDaniel and his wife of Enfield, Illinois, shot at a greyish monkey-like animal with short arms and pink eyes that jumped 50 feet in 3 leaps. Some local boys were riding motorbikes on trails in the Penn Hills area outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on September 22nd, 1973, when they heard something large moving in the woods nearby. The next day, a father of one of the boys named Baird found some fresh ape-like tracks 11 inches long with an opposed toe. On January 30th, 2002, Penny Howell and 3 friends saw a shaggy, black-haired, ape-like animal about 5 feet tall and standing in a crouch south of Lake Monroe, Indiana. It had a patch of white fur on its head and neck. When it saw them, it turned and moved into the woods. It left four-footed tracks with claws about 5 inches long. Present status. Distinctions between North American apes, devil monkeys, hairy bipeds, and Bigfoot are nebulous and possibly arbitrary. In general, North American apes are tailless and resemble chimpanzees. Devil monkeys are tailed and resemble baboons. Hairy bipeds cover a wide range of descriptions from apes to wild men and paranormal entities. Bigfoot is a robust, tall hominid with a range that seems restricted to the Pacific Northwest. So folks, an interesting one, the North American ape, which is the Bigfoot. But what's interesting, the first time that I came across the so-called types of Bigfoot was on Sasquatch Chronicles. If I remember correctly, it was the so-called government insider who had told, I can't remember, about the different types, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, the ape-like ones, the smaller ones who are more human-like, the baboon ones, blah, blah, blah. So it's it's interesting that you have these distinctions, you know. And of course, what interests me the most is the human type ones, the ones that you look more human-like. And as I've said in other videos, these things they must be a mixture of us, or our DNA is in them. It's a mystery, folks, right? But right, I hope you liked that one. A nice, short and sweet, and yeah, Bigfoot Sasquatch, folks. To be honest, lately in the Bigfoot Sasquatch community, it's up and down, right? Up and down, you know. You think there's momentum going, that we're going to learn new things, something's going to be disclosed, and then it just returns to the norm, you know, where nothing happens. And I think you know what I mean. But you know, that's this subject for you. Okay, folks, catch you next time. Bye bye.